Morning, guys. Just wanted to talk about a fight last night between Ben Whittika and Liam Cameron. And, the build up to the fight has gone on, I think it went on for about 6 months. And there was lots of fucking mind games, as you'd expect in boxing. And to be fair, I think Ben went pretty fucking silent for those 6 months. He went offline. He's quite famous for being online on Instagram and being a creator and influencer and a bit of a showman. But yeah, the mind games and the psychology and the bullying tactics and everything else was pretty fucking intense. And you have to expect that really from boxing. There's a lot of animals in boxing. On the outside, people act like gentlemen, but the truth is not enough do. And that's a bit of an issue, but it's a power game, and power is like that in the realm of power. People do their best to act like gentlemen, but behind closed doors, people are sticking the fucking knife in. So lots of mind games, and yeah, at the end of the day, it all came out, didn't it? Bit of a power struggle. I can understand Liam wanting to, create smoke so he can get the fight, and he got the fight. And not only did he get the fight, he got a wicked fucking payday as well, because the contract was fucked up from 12 down to 10. And I do wonder, how much money. We all have like a figure that we'll settle for. When you've been guaranteed a certain amount of cash before the fight, how much is that going to switch off your motivation? Because everybody's got a price. People settle for what they think they're worth. So, could it have gone on, the fight? Was it stopped too soon? On first impression, I thought it was a little bit premature, but then having a closer look, you could see that Liam was out on his feet, not once, but twice. He was out, and Ben landed some pretty hard punches on closer inspection. And even Liam said, whether he's just being nice, because Liam is a nice guy, I think, after the fight, he'd never been hit that hard. And Ben does have power, and people say that he's not a puncher, but there's no difference between speed and power, and he's a speedy puncher. I think if it had gone on, Liam might have recovered. He might have recovered if the referee hadn't stopped it, and Ben might have gassed himself out. What would have happened then? So, who's in charge? The God or devil? And I think at the end of the day, the right call was made by the ref. Because you have to think about the health of the boxer, and I think Liam was definitely out. At the end, obviously, a bit of the cathartic release from Ben Whittika, perhaps spitting, perhaps it was intended, perhaps it wasn't. It was definitely an expression of emotion. And when you're in the ring, you're an animal. You're a savage, intelligent animal. And Ben was in the ring, so can't really blame him for his reaction. If he was outside of the ring, he did that, then it may have been different. But I think when you're in the ring, you're in the ring. Nothing matters but the goal and the mission to win. The mission to win must be completed by any means necessary. Savage, intelligent animal. So, yeah, it is what it is. But I think I'm going to end by, Cus D'Amato always used to talk about the mystical element. He always used to talk about the mystical element, and he used to be into astrology and all kinds of mystical stuff, because that's his character. But my mystical view on all of this is that Ben may have ADHD. I don't know. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. I have heard that he's got ADHD. He might be on the spectrum. Wouldn't surprise me, to be honest with you. So many people are these days. It might explain an awful lot. But the first thing I've always thought about Ben Whittika is, this is someone that has confidence issues, but he transcends them. He's at the top of his game, and he's been at the top of his game. You know, all of his 8 fights, 9 fights that he's had. So I think this is someone that's transcended his purpose in life, and he's very highly strung. He's very highly strung, and Liam Cameron is a fucking chess player. You know, he's a master chess player, world class thinker, lovely guy, fully integrated his shadow. You know, Ben, I don't think has integrated his shadow, but you know, he's transcending his purpose, and he's going to learn how to do that along the way. Sorry if I've lost you. Now, when you add the dynamics together, it was a very cerebral dynamic. Lots of paranoia going into this fight. You know, it was all about who's going to win. It was all about manifesting that fight and getting control psychologically. And you know, I think Ben had to go and find Jesus. He had to find God. You know, he had to find his faith to transcend the challenges and the hurdles, and he did that. Yeah, and I think Liam felt a bit sorry for him, because I think he understood, you know, the depth of darkness that Ben had to go to. You know, so yeah, I think Ben found his faith, and I think it's a challenge overcome, and I think this is going to shape him to become, you know, the world champion that he will be, most definitely. So thanks for listening. See you a bit later.